Call sign Extortion 17, the shoot down of SEAL Team 6. That was, and now there's a film based on his book. It's called The Fallen Angel. It's at salemnow.com. Don, welcome to my show.
Dennis, so great to be here. Appreciate the great work you're doing. So it's a special honor and privilege for me to be able to discuss these 30 Americans, Navy SEALs, 17 of them who lost their lives on your show. God bless you for having me, and I thank you.
Wow. Well, that's very touching. Thank you. So obviously bring my listeners up to speed. What exactly is this about?
Fallen Angel is a very dramatic and emotional film about an American military helicopter called Extortion 17, which was shot down 10 years ago, this coming Friday, August 6, 2011, which marked the largest loss of life for the United States in the Afghan War, and also the largest loss of life in the history of our Navy SEALs. And we lost 30 Americans on board that aircraft, including 6. SEAL Team 6 had 17 members on board that aircraft. And this shoot-down occurred just 96 days, just about 3 months after our Navy SEALs had taken out Osama bin Laden. And the shoot-down occurred under some very, very questionable circumstances. It appears to be a very large military cover-up. But I think there's a dual-pronged tragedy here. One, these guys, their names had never even been learned, let alone forgotten. And so I think this film, Fallen Angel, is going to bring some light to the nation about these 30 heroes who have sort of been lost amidst a cacophonous chorus of foolish sound bites from the liberal media. We hear the phrase, say his name, say her name. How about saying their names? 30 Americans losing their lives in one swath, including 17 members of SEAL Team 6.
3 months after bin Laden is killed by Navy SEALs, and they announce bounty on Navy SEAls.
They announced bounty on Navy SEAls. The current gentleman who apparently is in the White House, Mr. Biden, just 2 days after there had been an agreement forged by the former Defense Secretary Bob Gates to keep the names of the identity of the Americans who took bin Laden out, to keep it a secret, to keep it quiet, Biden goes to a hotel in Washington, D.C. and announces that SEAL Team, the Navy SEALs, have taken out bin Laden. As soon as Biden did that, he can't control his mouth. A bounty was placed on the heads of the Navy SEALs, and in this Tangi River Valley in Wardak Province, Afghanistan, in the 90-some days after the bin Laden mission, there had been 3 attacks against special operations helicopters flying in that valley. And it's a heavily infested Taliban valley. And yet the rules of engagement still prevented Obama's rules of engagement still prevented us from using what we call pre-suppression fire, to fire into an area, into a landing zone before our helicopters landed. This chopper was hanging in the air, strangely, for 10 minutes. We lost communication for 10 minutes. It hung in the air for 7 minutes after it should have been on the ground. Should have been only a 10-minute flight, making itself a huge, loud, roaring target for Taliban on the ground. The shoot-down was not even announced by the American administration. It was announced by Karzai. President Karzai announced the next morning that there had been a shoot-down, and we saw from the British and French press quoting sources inside the Karzai administration that the Taliban had been tipped on the flight. There are many, many unanswered questions, including what happened to the helicopter's black box. We've gotten multiple reports. If you think Fauci is bad, flip-flopping about, whether you need a mask or not, you go back and read the military report on what happened to the black box in this case, and it almost looks like, makes Fauci looks intelligible almost, not quite. But they first said the black box, which had a cockpit voice recorder, was washed away in a flood. And they maintained that story after sending Pathfinders in to look for it for 3 days. The Pathfinder commander said the first time he could never find the black box. Military told the family members it washed away in a flood. That was in 2011. Then in 2014, they changed their tune and said, well, the helicopter never had a black box to begin with. We've since had pilots come forward saying, yes, it did. It did have a black box, and it had a flight data recorder. It had a voice data, cockpit voice recorder. You see, Dennis, one thing I didn't really realize.
All right, hold on. I'm actually mesmerized. There's no question I'm watching this. There's no question. It's up at salemnow.com, by the way, Fallen Angel. This is a scandal. I mean, a moral scandal. Oof.